Well, hello, everybody. We are back again in yet another morning. I didn't expect to be doing this. Hello to everybody in chat. But first of all, I want to shout out a couple different things. First of all, is Purple Valkyrie. Good morning to you. And I also, again, your detective work right before we went live with getting a Portuguese to English translation for what we're about to watch is fantastic. How are you doing, Purple?
Doing well, thank you. Yes, another day and more Lord of the Rings related goodness.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to say the least. You have some impressions about this video. I have some impressions about this video. I'm going to bring the chat in, shout everybody out, and then guess what? We're going to look at this video and not just screw around for 5 hours or something like that. So let's see who we've got here today. We've got the one and only Rosie Gamgee's our poet laureate. We have Sultan Al Fahim. Cheers to you. Bobin Grojic, the one and only Nerdscape. We also have Hilton Knowles, the insane Witch King. Cheers. And of course, Brandon, the anime guy. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to roll through this once, as I've learned from getting massively shadow banned the other day. Hold on. We're going to roll through this once, as I've learned. You think I know how to mute things before I did this. I actually took the wrong thing. Wow, I'm such a professional. 1 second. But Purple, have you seen this thing yet?
I have actually, yes. I've watched it through, but only once.
Me too. Me too. So when I found this thing, it was, I don't know what, unlisted, but there were only 4 views. My immediate reaction was to share it out with my channel members, my Wolf brothers and sisters, and then also to put it on Twitter. And now here we are. And excuse me, I have to cough because it's, you know, I'm still waking up. I was late working on videos last night. Now I think I got 100 and something. I'm going to put the link within this video for those of you who are not on the cancer known as Twitter. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and play through this once, making it transformative because I am really tired of having my videos taken down for no reason and then blacklisted. So here we go. Let's not bury the lead. You ready?
Let's do this.
Os elfos protegem as florestas. Os anões, as minas.
So we did see more Khazad-dûm there. We got more Khazad-dûm there.
Yes, it does seem to be that this is yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I'm making it transformative. Here we go. Now, these, I'm guessing, are humans, or are they Harfoots, or I don't know. It looks like a human settlement.
Yeah, I would say these are the humans because of the way they've talked about the Harfoots. They are completely nomadic because we've seen them with their covered wagons just traveling. So they're a traveling people.
And if you're leaving comments in chat, I have to be on a different window in order to pause the video like I'm doing, so I'm not ignoring you. We're going to go look at them, but if anything pops up, Purple Valkyrie, that you want to shout out, please do.
I will do.
Okay. Okay, there is our orgy of Harfoots, I'm guessing. This is Burning Man meets a Grateful Dead concert, meets a Fish concert, meets... Woodstock. There we go. Look at all these people of the earth. I bet you they own nothing and like it, Purple Valkyrie. That's how my brain works, is everything is just messaging now.
No party like a Harfoot party, exactly, yes.
Yeah, that long bottom leaf rolling it up Bob Marley style. Wow. Look at that. That is a strong independent wham-in Harfoot with apparently was working on a lawnmower.
Yeah, I still don't like that they've woven in twigs and sticks and leaves into their hair. I think it just looks kind of silly.
Yeah, I highly doubt that's
that's a bold claim.
Oh, look, there's our strong independent wham-in. And much as the fad that shouldn't be is said, we're starting to see Morford Clark actually look like the Galadriel. Let me be fair about this. We're actually starting to see Morford Clark be a plausible representation of Galadriel because she's not all covered in crap with an 18-foot sword.
Yes.
Okay, this is new. So what I'm taking away from this wow, this looks like a women's studies gender professor, doesn't it? I mean, does this character have a gender? I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm assuming this is someone who is ice climbing with Gladriel. Another
Yes,
woman. I mean, is this
this
Elrond? I don't know who the hell this is.
yeah. So this is the scene that we keep seeing time and time again, where they're climbing that ice wall, isn't it? So, which
Yeah.
presumably is in the very first episode.
Yeah. So I don't know. They both have these ridiculous 8-handed swords. I know that. Interesting.
Você já lutou por tempo demais, Galadriel.
Oh,
Oh. And there she is fighting a troll.
there she is fighting a troll. Yep, there she is fighting a troll. Oh, there she is. Oh, and there's our man with no sideburns, who strangely looks a lot like Neil Patrick Harris, if we're honest about it.
He kind of does, doesn't he? Actually, yeah. Now that you mention it.
Entrega sua espada.
Jesus, that's not Elrond. Sorry, that's not Elrond. You know?
No, and we've talked about the look of the elves in the previous video that we did, and live streams as well. Yeah, it's the hair and the ears.
What I find really interesting about this video is we are getting more new images in this 60-second drop from a Brazilian trailer than we got in anything released to North America and Europe thus far. It's all right here.
There is a theory about what we're watching at the moment. So this is actually what we should have been given on the 14th.
Yep. I'll play a little bit more.
Sua espada.
Você não viu.
It's a beautiful shot.
The Numenor, perhaps?
It's a really good question. It's a really good question. Sure does look like it, but this could be any number of things. This is a beautiful shot. It's awe-inspiring. Like anything else, what is the context for this shot? We will eventually find a... Yeah. Yeah, it does look like that, or it's some type of obviously CG, time dilated moment of an explosion with everybody flying everywhere. Compelling. I will give him that. The cinematography in this almost looks as good as Indian cinema that I've been seeing with my friend Zach 7. And there's Warrior Gladriel, covered in ash. They just like getting her dirty, don't they?
They do, don't they? She's not looking quite as regal as we've seen her in the previous shots.
Você não viu.
A escuridão vai marchar sobre a face da...
Not getting elf. Not getting elf.
Still getting generic fantasy. I know that sounds horrible, and we've banged on about this multiple times.
Yeah.
But even though I know this is Tolkien, they keep telling us that this is Tolkien, it's set in Tolkien's world, I'm not getting the heart and soul.
I'm not either. And again, chat, I'm sorry, I can't pay attention to what you guys are saying. I'm not ignoring you. I literally have to be on another screen in order to stop and start this video.
Yes, we are watching, and it's great to see you guys. We've got Prophet of the Dragon, Stick Kenobi, great to see you. Hardlight, welcome. Dovi, good to see you as well. Thank you guys for joining us.
And thank you to all my channel members. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to give you the best possible experience of this video. All right, I'm going to roll a little bit more.
Okay.
There's your Elrond.
There's
your Elrond.
I'm getting definitely a lot of Game of Thrones feel the more I see this trailer.
I am too. And those of us who remember, and I've started to have this conversation with people, yes, Peter Jackson's representation in the trilogy is not the only way to look at Tolkien's world. However, for a lot of us, it was a very accurate depiction. Now, no one says you have to just cut and paste what Peter Jackson and the Weta Workshop and Philippa Boyens did. But here's the thing. John Howe's art direction along with Alan Lee's input, two very famous, respected Tolkien cartographers as well as illustrators helped create the look of the three Lord of the Rings films. Again, I keep saying this, and this is why it's important. The art director for this production was from the Chronicles of Narnia. That is why we are seeing what we're seeing here. And to me, I'm seeing a lot more blue than I would have ever seen in something that I would consider to be Lord of the Rings on screen. But I am very biased because I really do respect what Peter Jackson did, working along with John Howe and Alan Lee to produce that. But I think you're right here. What I find challenging about this is we all know the Second Age spans a couple thousand years, that one of the things that we get in the monologue of the Fellowship of the Ring is that Elrond is talking about that he was there when the fall of Sauron happened, when the ring should have been destroyed. This is the same character and the same representation right here in Elrond in the Second Age where those events would have occurred. It's a bit of a stretch.
Yes, and you guys in the chat are saying there are no subtitles for this. No subtitles as of yet, because this has literally just dropped and they're taking it down as quickly as possible because they didn't actually want this released just yet. But
yeah,
a shout out to a German Twitter fan group.
We've got that.
We've got it.
And we will go back through this. We will go back through this. So as you can see, the subtitles and closed captions are unavailable. That's one of the first things that I've tried to do. So literally, guys, this only had 4 views when I found it and posted it. So I'm just going to ask this, and I'm not trying to be a little bitch about it, but please give some credit to people who actually work hard and find things, like Zach7 has been doing, Purple Valkyrie and myself. Anyone else that's a content creator out there that you find something from, just give them a shout out. We're all working really hard, you know, and we just, I do that every chance I get. Call people out and say thank you for putting things up there. It just helps, right? So let's watch a little bit more of this. There we go. Where have we seen the Parade of Orcs before? Very interesting.
Yes. And we mentioned this the last time that we were talking about the trailer, that they were so excited about the look of these new orcs, and we didn't see any of them, and clearly here they are.
Yeah. Last Queen of Numenor. Oh, look. More Harfoots. It's Burning Man. Interesting.
It's funny, Planet of the Apes.
It is. I was also thinking it's very sort of Shannara, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. The Shannara Chronicles that was done by MTV. Not enough heaving bosoms for me, though. Interesting. This must be the other character that they were talking about, the shipwright.
Yes, and I remember him being mentioned.
This will be a very interesting character in the storyline, but who am I kidding? We're talking about Payne and McKay. Interesting. Trying to read some of the iconography to figure out where this is.
Yes, I'm looking at the style of the clothing as well, and one of the things that really says Tolkien to me is how in depth and how ornate and the clothing for all the different races are. So I'm just seeing how much care and attention they've put into differentiating them all.
He looks like a playing card, but that's just a personal. All right, we have more heavy armor. We've got Gladriel leading the charge. You can see it. She's out in front of all the men because Tolkien's appendices said that she was able to look at military forces with the eye of a general. Well, here we are.
And this is a really interesting shot as well. I had to rewind this a couple of times to see what was going on, but he's chained up fighting a warg by the looks of things.
Yeah, and I think this is Arondir, yet another, made-up character.
Yep.
There we go, Harfoot's hugging. That's the emergence of Meteor Man. Why do I have Elton John's Rocket Man? Actually, William Shatner's Rocket Man. I think I'm gonna get high.
Half-wits group you up.
Yeah. There's our meteor man.
And
Oh,
what
look,
does
it's an
that look
eye.
like? Yes, exactly.
Eye of Sauron there in the meteor. Now, European lore has had a different take on this, and I respect him. I reached out to do the video. He was doing his own video, but brother, hail to you. Take a look at the iconography here. To me, this is undeniable as a portent of Sauron.
A lot of people are saying that maybe this is actually a wizard instead, rather than. But
I have heard that maybe this is Gandalf. Who the hell knows? I'm not investing in any answer whatsoever. Is Nerdrotic right with Gandalf? Is this Sauron? Is this somebody else? I don't know. All I'm saying is, to me, I'm seeing the iconography of an eye here.
Yes,
and you know what I'm
fine.
talking about, the great eye, the watchful eye in Mordor that happens in the Third Age. So, in the Second Age.
And
that's why I bring it up.
Shout out to Tolkien Tube. Good to see you guys. They said, be careful showing this stuff. Amazon's striking some people. Oh, yes. And shadow banning.
Believe me. I was for those of you just showing up, I asked God shadow ban the other day, and they played a lot of games with me. They shadow banned me all day, and then only around 11:30 at night did they actually copyright claim my video. So they hit it, and then they dropped it, and then must have just been an accident. It turned out that way. Look, it's Harfoots. They're going to go on an adventure. Gosh, I've never seen this storyline in Tolkien before. Have you?
4 of them, yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Look at those rolling countryside.
At least in this video, we actually did get a legitimate 60 seconds, really, of trailer. We really did.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and I want to say hello to everybody. I am sorry I wasn't able to interact with you. We do, thanks to Purple Valkyrie, we have a translation from Portuguese to English. Purple, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one while I go through the chat and pop some people out.
Yes, absolutely. Big shout out to the Dutch Tolkien Society on Twitter. Guys, if you are a big fan of Tolkien and speak German, please give them a follow, because it seems like they're doing great work. So a big thank you to them for getting this translation up so quickly.
The other thing, sorry to interrupt. The other thing is the German Tolkien Society was who theoretically Tom Shippey spoke to about the Lord of the Rings production, and then that was the reason given for why Tom Shippey was no longer on the Rings of Power production and was replaced by, I would say, much more suspect Tolkien experts. But sorry, go ahead, Purple.
Yes, absolutely. So big thank you to them for getting the translation up. So as you could see, what they did is what they've done with previous trailers. Each of the characters has a kind of line of dialogue over, and they just kind of play as the trailer goes ahead. Shall I just kind of read them in order?
Please, yeah. So, because this is not a high dollar production, the only thing I could do is potentially bring another screen in, but it might bounce you down. How do you want to do this, Purple? Oh, that's us. I shouldn't do that. I haven't had enough coffee, guys. Bear with me. You can keep talking. Don't worry about me.
Fine. So pretty much as I said before, what they've done on previous ones is they did the voiceover, the different characters, but this time, because we have a actual trailer, it's obviously that there's more dialogue, and they're kind of giving the background of what's going on in Middle-earth. So it starts off, the first voiceover we have is from the female Harfoot. So it says, "The owls protect the forest, the dwarves the mines, the men their fields, but we Harfoots have each other." So it's very much the idea that they are a separate species. They don't really have much interaction with any of the other races. They're a little bit more secretive, kind of like hobbits. But obviously, we know that hobbits didn't exist at this stage.
No. And yet here we are.
Absolutely. And then the second voiceover that we get is from our girl Gladriel. She says, "The enemy is still at large, and the question is, where?" So this harkens back to the quest that she's on. Yes. Yep. Let me click on this one and get the transition. So it then goes down to, and he says, "You have fought too long, Glad. Galadriel, hand
There it
in
is.
or return your sword.
Wow. Wow. He's oppressing her with Tolkien's patriarchy, Purple Valkyrie.
Mansplaining, indeed, yes. But Galadriel's not having any of this. She says, "You did not see what I saw. You did not see it."
Oh, that explains this whole scene right here. This is a vision for Gladriel. I am so glad we're doing this in order, Purple Valkyrie. You are an amazing detective. So this is some type of prophecy or foresight of what could happen. Got it.
Yes, got it. So we then cut to Gilgalad, who says, "Darkness will march across the face of the earth. It will end for all peoples."
There it is. That's this scene right here with Gilgad. So we're linking it up as best as we can. That makes a lot of sense.
And then I think this is the final one. Let's get this bit. So it then jumps to the humans. It says, the past has died." And then we cut to Doran. It says, "This
That's
may
it.
be the beginning of
Yep.
a new era."
That's the past has died right there. That's the scene where it drops.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know,
And
there we go.
That's the end of the actual voiceover, and then we get a lot of the clips that we've seen previously, kind of interspersed with a few new scenes that we haven't seen before, such as the scenes with the dwarves, with the warg that he's fighting, and with our new orcs.
Lots of hugging. It's like it's Star Trek Discovery. Yep. And again, I'm not saying this is, but it sure looks like from the iconography that this is the Eye of Sauron.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's Gandalf. I'm not invested in this. I'm not getting in any fights with anybody. But it's the way it looks to me. I've been wrong before. So
yes. And we keep kind of talking about this, and that we're getting a lot of kind of pushback from people saying, "Oh, you're just haters. You don't really love Tolkien." On the contrary, we love Tolkien. We love the work.
Absolutely.
We love his worlds. We want this to be the best possible thing, but we're not going to shill for it if we don't think that it looks great, or if we think the idea is particularly strong. We will talk about it, but I desperately, as a fan, want to be proven wrong with this.
Oh yeah. Were there some things in here that I thought looked great? To be fair, yes. Now, what we now know to be from this Portuguese trailer to be Morfydd Clark's Gladriel's dream or foresight of whatever that destruction is of Numenor, I thought that was really good. It looks great. Some of the scenes with these Harfoots in the woods, to be fair, look great. It looks creepy, weird, like it's some type of Burning Man thing with midgets, but you know, it looks great. I'm not sold on Arondir. I find it interesting that Arondir really didn't have a lot of not representation isn't the right word, but content in this, and it seems like all the fight scenes, including Arondir, seem very heavily CG, which is probably why they only give us like a quarter of a second or 1/10 of a second with him fighting a warg. As far as the orcs go, I'm going to reserve judgment. I mean, again, this is not Tolkien to me. This is not Middle Earth to me. This is a generic fantasy story that borrows very heavily from the names and characters within Tolkien's world. But this, to me, is not the Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings of Power. This is simply the Rings of generic fantasy. I want to be wrong. I want this to be a great companion piece to what we got from Jackson. Just not seeing it at all. But yeah, I didn't want to go a long time, you guys. We've run through this trailer twice. We're getting some absolutely fantastic comments. Please, you guys, again, we did not mean to ignore you. It's just, we just went live at this as best as we could. And
yes, absolutely. And thank you guys. And if you do like it, please hit that like. It really does help.
It really does help, especially when YouTube comes and hides my stuff even from me. It's a true story. I made a teaser trailer response video 2 days ago, and I couldn't even find it on my own video page. But if you looked up the words I used, it was there. But shadow banning is a thing, especially when it comes to properties like this.
Yes.
So,
I would imagine that Amazon are not particularly pleased that this has been leaked, but it could work out very well for them because it gets people talking about this show. And really, that's exactly what they need. They need people talking about it. They need the hype. We are very close to this being dropped.
It is fascinating, and I've thought about this. Why are they afraid of organic word of mouth? Because word of mouth is the best possible thing that you can have for marketing of a show. Now, you're always going to have dissenting voices and people that don't like your product. But if you have something you're proud of, and if you have something you believe is actually true to what you set out to do and have been marketing it as, why wouldn't you encourage this type of generic marketing? Because let's be honest, their own marketing with calling us is and phobes and just focusing only on the race and sexuality of the actors cast to fill up 24 made-up roles, that's not how you get butts in seats. That's not how you sell action figures. That's not how you get people to want to watch your stuff. But yeah, you guys, I'm just trying to go through the chat real quick. We are going to roll out of here because I said I don't like to do videos where I just go on and on and on for hours not saying a damn thing. I really go ahead, Purple.
I was just a big thank you and hello to Lyle Hammock who sent us a super chat. Really appreciate that.
Aren't you supposed to be on the Appalachian Trail, Lyle? Brother, it is so great to see you. I hope you liked what we did today. He says, for $5 US, hail Salty and Purple. I'm sitting in a nice bed and breakfast in Maine, getting ready for my hike tomorrow, and saw the trailer and really liked it. Well, hail to you, Lyle. I know you're around Mount Katahdin up in Maine, which is the terminus, unless you're going north to south hiking the Appalachian Trail. It's beautiful up there. Please kiss a moose and eat some blueberry pancakes, Maine blueberry pancakes for me, because I miss those. Hail to you, Lyle. It's great to see you. So yeah, Lyle, go ahead, Purple. Sorry.
I was going to say, yeah, absolutely great to see you. And thank you, Lyle. And thank you to everybody. Salty, just before we do let people go, what is your read this as summing it up? Did you like what they've done? Do you think it's a worthy trailer, or are you still reserving judgment?
Well, I'm going to go to the poll that I put up, and if you haven't voted, it's on this video. You guys, we have 42 watching now. If you haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. It really does help the video. But I asked the question, has the Brazilian teaser trailer footage changed your opinion of Lord of the Rings? Now, we do have some interesting metrics here. So with the winner on this is with 48% says still think it's going to suck. The next highest level is WTF did I just see with 24% of the votes. Then it is an exact, I think it's a tie. No, still think it's going to be good with 15%, and then 13% say I am still neutral. So this really didn't move the needle for a lot of people, which I kind of fall in the same boat. You know, I called out the things that I thought looked cool and interesting. I do think there's some beautiful cinematography here, but much like I think a lot of us have been talking about, is this accurate to Tolkien? Does it carry forward the spirit of Tolkien? You know, is this, they were working with 150 pages of a history to produce a story. To do so, they decided to make up 24 made-up characters and then have beaten us over the head with how diverse and representational the human beings cast to play these roles are, and not told us about how great the characters are in Tolkien's world. So that to me falls in line with a lot of the crap we've seen from, you guys know the list, Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who. It's the same MOs, trying to hit these ESG scores and, you know, whatever. I'm not going to go down that road. But to answer your question, Purple Valkyrie, no, it hasn't changed, because if it's one thing I've learned with the Wheel of Time is they can really be tricky editing anything they want to make it look like the source material. And we also as fans have a weakness because we want to see good things. We want these things to be good. And I would love to give things benefit of the doubt. I think I am giving this the benefit of the doubt, but that benefit of the doubt is expectations are extraordinarily low. You know, I don't know how this is going to go, but I don't think it's going to be what a lot of us want. If I'm wrong, I will tell you, in my opinion. What about you, Purple? Where are you at with this thing?
I'm pretty much on the same page, to be honest. There were shots that I thought were very well done. I think this is probably the best put together trailer we've had so far. Now, whether we will get another one before September 2nd, I don't know. I would be inclined to believe that this is probably it, and maybe we'll get a little bit more information for the San Diego Comic-Con, because we know
Yeah.
that they're going to be there as well,
Yes,
which
they
is
are.
probably when this was actually going to be dropped.
Exactly.
But yeah, still going to reserve judgment. We're still going to review it when it comes out. But the Tolkien fan in me says that this is more of a generic fantasy. And had it been just some fantasy show that they had made, I would be a lot more excited about it.
And I'll be honest with you, if they would have put the same level of effort into production of The Wheel of Time, a 15-book series beloved by people around the world, I think a lot of us would have treated The Wheel of Time differently, as long as it stayed closer to the source material. In this case, to me, the question I asked during Wheel of Time, I will repeat here. Wheel of Time was in no way an adaptation of Robert Jordan's works. The characters were just forced representation that had a CW storyline. Is what they're doing with Tolkien's appendices and whatever access they have of things going to be worse, equal to, or somehow better than the air quotes non-adaption of what they did with Robert Jordan's world? Only time will tell. I don't know how you can make something worse than what they did with the Wheel of Time, but here we are. So thank you everybody for being in chat. I'm going to shout out Bobin Grojic, who says, I think that no matter how cool it will look, if it isn't lore accurate, everything falls into the water. Well, that's it. That's it. It can look cool. You know, Sword of Shannara at the time looked cool, but it sure as hell wasn't Terry Brooks, you know, although we did have some nice tracts of land to look at on a regular basis. So, yep, and here we go from Carlos Branca says, no, hope this will be good. The suspension of disbelief is already broken with all the canon violations, not watching this garbage. And who do we have here? This is Rosie Gamgee. Can you put the translated text up against, please? What we'll do is we will link it in this video in purple. I'm pretty sure you will go ahead on Twitter and shout it out. Because again, you can find this. It is the German Tolkien Society on Twitter and social media, but purple will go ahead and put that out for everybody.
Absolutely. So, and if Salty's okay with it, we could put the translation in the description as well for you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will do the best that we can here. Again, please hit that thumbs up button. Please share the video out if you can. And if you did see this video that they didn't want you to see, and you might have saw that I and part of this whole crew that I work with put it up, just please give us credit. You know, that's all we ask. No one's asking for an engagement ring or flowers. Just say, hey, you know, somebody found something. But I don't know. I want to say thank you to everybody. You guys are blowing me away in chat. We had 40-something people here. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you to all my channel members, Wolf Brother and sisters that have been here. Hail to Lyle Hammock for the super chat. And hail to everybody who's been here for the first time. Please consider subscribing to my channel. We put out quality content here. And again, Purple Valkyrie, it is an honor to work with you. Thank you for finding the German translations to this. You all have a great day, a great weekend. I'll probably be working with Purple Valkyrie tomorrow on something, but I'm not sure yet. So
yes, we've always got content coming, guys. So please check out the channels. We're working as hard as we can to bring you great content.
Quality content. You know, putting some time and effort into it. Purple, shout out your channel before we go.
Absolutely. So guys, if you would like to find me, it is Rise with Purple Valkyrie. I work a lot with the gentleman here and a lot of our friends and community. It's great to work with people. So yeah, here's to more Tolkien. Here's to more great fantasy, I guess. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And calling out things not to rage farm, but because we respect the lore and we have our fandom. You all have a great weekend. See you later.
Take care.
As ever, this is Salty Texas C. I am Corey DB. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you've seen and heard, please hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you on board. That way you know, and we have things like live streams, which we are going to be doing every Tuesday evening. Take care. I hope you're having a great 2022.